Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Mary.
I'm Jerry.
You talked over me.
We're still here.
Welcome to the Mary and Jerry podcast.
Today's a doubleheader. We're doing two podcasts at once because, well, two podcasts sequentially because, yeah.
People are going to think that we're mentally ill.
We're not mentally ill. We're just middle-aged.
Middle-aged.
Anyway, okay, so
yes. So today
we're gonna do something a little lighter because last podcast we talked about marriage, and hopefully we did not give the impression that marriage is all doom and gloom and it's horrible and bad and it's just no,
but it requires a choice.
Marriage is great.
It's wonderful.
Now I'm not gonna say every day is great.
No.
I'm not going to say you're not going to have troubles. I'm not going to say you're not going to have challenges. I'm not going to say you're not going to have disagreements. But it is a relationship, and I think that's the biggest thing we learned. And the most important thing in any relationship is
connection.
Allah.
Intimacy.
The date night. Dun, dun, dun,
the
dun.
Date night saga. Are we going to talk about date nights, Jerry?
Yes, we're going to talk about date nights. So...
Okay.
So one of the things that we talk to couples about, and this is very important, so y'all pay attention. That's why I'm wagging my finger.
On a podcast, which is
really,
but
it's
going to
be
useful.
A YouTube video. Just consider me wagging my finger. The number one thing that we tell engaged couples is never, ever, ever, ever forget that you are first and foremost a couple.
Correct.
Right? You're a team. She is my wingman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, we understand that, you're getting married, you want to have children, you want to start a family, you're going to do all the family things, right? I mean, you're going to start, you get into that rhythm and that cycle of soccer games and school activities.
Well, you're going to have kids, right? And so you, as especially women, we tend to place our children's needs first. Especially as tiny humans, we
little humans,
everything becomes about them. And so we've been married long enough and we've been through enough in our life to be able to honestly tell you that it is really a good and wise decision to always keep your marriage front and center.
Now, again, we kind of get that dog watching television look from them. And we're like, okay, here's the deal. So we know couples.
Right.
That
divorced at 30 years.
Divorced to 35 years of marriage. And we're just trying to be sympathetic. And we're like, oh, so, kind of what happened? And they're like, well, we just don't have anything to talk about now. The kids are all grown up. They moved out. This kid lives in this state. This kid lives in that state. So
they just kind of have lost their connection. They've lost their coupledom because they place the kids' needs first, always. Now, I am here to tell you, as a parent of a special needs child, there were times, when Courtney was in the ICU, and yes, absolutely, her needs superseded anybody else's needs. Jonathan, if he had any issue, his needs would supersede. Okay,
but I think that brought out the teamwork part of it, right?
Yes, of our marriage.
We're a team because we're in survival mode, so we got to get things done, right? So we got to see the hill, take the hill. But then there's that. That communication and connection as a couple. So how do you do that? Date night. Dun, dun, dun,
well, date night's one way.
I know, but let's
now, another way, before we get to date night, another way to have that connection is if you're practicing NFP, because it's a constant conversation. It's an intimate conversation. Are we open to having another baby right now? If yes, why? If no, why? And you're constantly having that conversation, and that really creates beautiful intimacy.
Yes.
So
does chicken wings when you go out on a date. So let's talk about date night.
How can you equate chicken wings with NFP? I'm just waiting.
Because they're things you do as a couple.
You go eat chicken wings?
Right. If you're on a date night.
Well, but what if I don't want chicken wings?
Okay, then you can get risotto because I know that's your thing. But let's talk about
I have no idea where this is going.
I know, but let's talk about
mercy.
date night, right?
Let's talk about date night, Jerry.
I know.
Favorite date night, go.
You mean like historically or like my favorite date night in general?
I'll take historically first and then in general.
Oh, let's see. What is my favorite date night? Favorite date night. Okay.
You're very excited.
Gentlemen, don't kid yourselves. Now, this is before we were married, of course. Don't kid yourselves that women don't know how to operate. We'll just call operate.
What is happening here?
So we'd been dating. So I don't know, like our 6th or 7th date. We're like, first of all, my rule was we never stayed at her house because, first of all, her 6 brothers
stayed
were there.
At my house for dinner. Yeah,
we got out. Right?
We did that once.
Yeah, that was a bad mistake. So I said, hey, let's go play miniature golf.
Oh.
So we went out to play miniature golf.
I know it.
Now, I'm like, okay, miniature golf,
Let's explain why you wanted to play miniature golf, Midshipman Lenaburg.
Well, because my future honey lamb was like, oh, can you show me the best way to hold the putter and the putt? So, of course, I was only too happy to help, and I would stand behind you and kind of put my arms around you.
Lots of hugging.
Lots of hugging and say, oh, you just kind of have to control your swing. And, I was being a good date and instructing you because, of course, that was when I started learning about the hyper-competitive nature of the Green family.
But you didn't learn it till the end of that game.
No, so we
because I told him I didn't know how to play miniature golf. I was like, you have to show me. As I fluttered my eyelids and
fluttered your eyelids and
was all coy.
Did your little coy look. See, I can do this on YouTube. You're like, oh, can you show me how to play miniature golf?
So I beat him at miniature golf. And he took it very well. And then as he was turning in our golf clubs, he looks up at the leaderboard, the local leaderboard. So they keep however many hole-in-ones you've gotten and stuff. And he sees the initials M-E-L. M-E-G, rather. Those are my maiden name initials, Mary Elizabeth Green. And he's like, M-E-G. And the guy took the golf clubs. He goes, hey, Mary Beth, good to see you again.
Totally sandbagged me. I totally got psyops run on me.
Excuse me, what just happened? I'm like, oh, nothing. Let's go get some burgers. That's your favorite story historically? All right.
Favorite date story?
Date story? Okay. My favorite story, which might be slightly scandalous historically.
Okay.
Is one night we went to go to the movies.
Right.
And it was wintertime.
Right.
And Jerry had a 66 Mustang.
Coolest car ever.
To go with the coolest date ever. Thank you very much. And we might possibly have gotten there early for the movie.
Midshipmen are always early.
And we might possibly have been making out in the car.
There was no possibly. It was definitely happening. Again, we never stayed at your house.
I know, because my little sister, one time we were making out on the sofa, and my little sister pops up from behind the sofa and says, Jesus is watching.
And she points to the crucifix. She was like, what, 11?
Yeah, it's just annoying.
She was like your parents' little spy.
Pretty much. So we were making out in the car, and the windows happened to be really steamy. Like you couldn't see through them. And all of a sudden, we hear these voices outside. These two guys were like, is that a 66 Mustang? Oh my gosh, that's such a cool car. Wait, I can't see inside. And they start rubbing on the glass to try and see inside. And I'm in an awkward position and just like...
The back seat of the Mustang was not very big.
And Jerry's like, shh, don't say anything.
Don't say anything. Don't move. If we don't move, they won't see us.
Oh my gosh.
It was pretty epic.
Oh.
It's a good thing I had on my winter and not my summer uniform because that would have been totally awkward.
I would have seen the white.
A little white, that would have been totally
Anyways,
awkward.
we laughed so hard.
Yeah, we broke a few commandments when we were dating. Again, if you're looking for...
Don't do that. Don't do what we did.
Don't do what we did. Yeah,
because let me tell you, it's a funny story, but the results of that are
it's a funny
are
story
not always...
36 years later.
Yeah, are not always good. But that I just remember that. I just remember my heart was beating so hard because all I thought was we were going to get... like arrested or something. I mean, everybody was, let me be very clear here, audience of this podcast.
We were going to the movies.
Everyone was fully clothed. There was nothing of that nature happening.
Movies.
We were just making out and creating a lot of steam. So
we were steamy.
Oh my gosh, stop. Anyways, okay, so what's your favorite date night in general now?
Okay, so here's how we do date nights. Okay.
Oh, no, this is how you do date nights. Never say we.
No, this is how we
is
do
it?
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't trust you.
Well, back in the day when we would, so, our typical day. Okay, so dating with Courtney was hard. Let's be honest,
Yes. That was a lot of in-home dates, movie nights.
There was a lot of in-home dates. We would basically put the kids to bed, order a pizza, get some Chinese, and then I would
Not together. That would be two separate dates.
Yeah.
never eat Chinese and pizza together.
That's just weird. And then we would come to a mutually agreed upon movie.
Right. Now, here's the rules about the movie choices. If you happen to choose a movie where someone dies and it causes Jerry to have an allergic reaction, otherwise known as an emotional moment, then you are not allowed to choose the next movie.
No, she had a horrible streak going. She's like, oh, look, this is a really romantic movie.
Any Nicholas Sparks movie.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
what was that one with Richard Gere?
I don't remember.
He was a Civil War guy.
Yeah. Like this whole movie with Richard Gere, and I can't remember who it was. And like at the very end, he died. And
like
then there was
hung.
the movie with Kevin Costner at the end.
That was Nicholas Sparks.
He died. And then we go to, oh my gosh, she inflicted The Notebook on me. And I'm like, they
was
died.
Such a great movie. I love that movie.
Everybody dies and there's no machine gun fire. There's no explosions.
They not only die, but they make you cry.
I'm like, this is no.
You look over at Jerry and he holds his hands up and he's like, do not look at me.
So that is when your movie picking privileges are taken away for the next date. So typically one of us would pick the restaurant. When we got to the point that we could actually go somewhere. Yeah. And then the other person would pick the movie. Now, this is back in the day when I went to movies, before movies were like $35 a ticket.
Oh my gosh, you're such a boomer.
I remember seeing Star Wars the very first time in 1977 for 50 cents in Collinsville, Oklahoma.
Boomer in chief, everyone.
It was the movie in Collinsville, Oklahoma.
Boomer in chief.
Anyway.
Old man.
Anyway, although now it's great because now I get the senior discount. Yep, not ashamed to admit it. They don't even ask anymore. They just look at me and say, "Senior discount, sir."
Well, yes, now that I've grown my hair out and it's all gray, I get the senior discount as well. But what's really interesting is if you don't know anything about my husband from these podcasts so far, know that Jerry is extremely frugal. Not cheap. I will not call him cheap. He's not a cheap man. He is very, very frugal. And so his wife is not.
Boy, no kidding. Anyway.
Truer words in Christendom have never been spoken.
Thank you. That was very well done. So yes, that was kind of our
typical night. We would go to a movie.
Go to dinner.
A dinner and a movie. Okay, so now in the last 3 to 4 years, date nights, I decided to shake them up a little bit because I was tired of the same old thing. Like we just go to dinner and a movie, blah, blah, blah. So now it's like an adventure and each of us gets to plan it. So one time.
Adventure. That's Jerry speak for what the hell is this?
One time we went with friends of ours. We went ice skating. I can't even.
Oh, yeah. That was a super plan.
Jerry.
Here, honey, let me get on my injured ankle from the U.S. Navy and ice skate around. I mean, it was so embarrassing. I had the little booster thing that they give the 9-year-olds to hold on to. So the little penguin to go around the rink. You're enjoying this way too much. The little penguin. And this 9-year-old comes zipping by me.
9-year-old? She was like 5.
Whatever. And she was looking at me like, Grandpa, do you need some help? And
Are you okay there, old man?
I just kind of glared at her.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. You took away my date planning privileges after that.
It was just bad.
But I planned one where we went to a pasta making class. You liked that one.
Well, it's because I got to eat.
We haven't done, I want to do the candle making, but you're like, it's candles.
I want to do the tomahawk throwing.
Ooh, axe throwing.
Aye.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Aye, we can do axe throwing.
Because you're not, do you drink as you do that? I hope not. That would not.
I can neither confirm nor deny. I'm pretty sure that.
I mean, we've gone to. I love going to sports events. I love sports, particularly 2 sports. Which sports are my favorite, Jerry?
Football and hockey.
That is correct. Why, Jerry?
Because it's organized violence.
Yes.
I mean, I still don't get the whole icing thing. Sorry. We play American sports in Oklahoma. We don't play hockey. We play football, we play basketball, and we play baseball.
I grew up playing basketball, but it's still not my favorite.
You were the hitman on the squad.
Excuse me.
Your job was to go out there and block and hurt people.
That is incorrect.
It was CYO basketball.
CIO?
CYO.
CYO basketball, Catholic Youth Organization. I went to a Catholic school, and in the 6th grade, I happened to be on a team that made the CYO championships.
Because you hurt people.
No, I did not. In the CYO championship game, which, by the way, our team won 5-4.
Super high scoring game.
And I won it with my winning free throw. Thank you very much.
After you took the girl out.
Okay, I didn't take her out on purpose. I basically tripped with the ball, landed on her. Her arm was there awkwardly. It happened to make a snapping sound.
Is that what the lawyer told you to say?
Stop.
But wait, there's more. And then what happened 20 years later?
No, like 15 years later, we were out in Sacramento, and I was in the exchange. No, in the commissary, and there was this young lady walking toward me with a little person in their carriage, and in their grocery cart, and I was like, "Gosh, she looks awfully familiar to me." She comes by me and she's like, "Are you Mary Beth Green?" And I'm like, "Well, I got married. My last name is Lenaburg now." And she's like, "Oh my God. You broke my arm in the 6th grade." And I'm like, oh.
She was Irish, wasn't she?
Yeah.
It's funny how that works. They don't forget and they don't forgive.
No. And I never went back to that commissary. We shopped out in town from then on.
I know.
I don't even know. I mean, this is like California on an Air Force base, but her husband was in the Air Force. And yeah, it was just, don't ever fall on people in the 6th grade and hurt them in a championship game. That's
sports
your
events.
advice.
Yes,
sports
that's
events.
A fun day. We like going to Navy football games.
Oh,
That's
Navy football is so fun, especially when they actually win. That's always delightful.
Well, add a bonus.
What else do we do? Well, I mean, we found new restaurants.
We go down to
like experiences.
We go down to museums. We go to battlefields.
Okay.
Although
when you say we go down to museums, let's be clear.
Yes, dear.
In this area, there is one museum in particular that if I have to go one more time in the next 2-year span.
What's that?
The Marine Corps Museum. Oorah. God bless the Marines. Love you. Love you all. Thank you for your service.
It's a date.
Why do I have to go through that museum like every 4 months?
Well, because it's always changing. There's something new to see. And you get dinner.
What? So if I suffer a little, that's the sacrificial love that you're talking about. I suffer a little and we get dinner.
Yes.
Then I get to pick the place for dinner.
I do believe that for several years, 4 dates, you dragged me to the Christmas festival, whatever,
it's called a craft mall.
At the Expo Center.
Where do you think half our Christmas decorations came from?
Not Santa and his elves, that's for sure.
Jerry loves my addiction to Christmas decorations, don't you, honey? That's its own podcast
like
that we'll just leave it alone.
Expo Center full of Christmas decorations.
To where I said, "Ooh, let's go have fun."
Mm-hmm.
Did you have fun? I do believe we found a piggy ornament for you. We found a bacon ornament for you.
We did find a bacon ornament.
And we have the Grinch ornament, which you love.
We did find a Grinch ornament.
Okay, so you can't complain.
Well, yeah, I can. And I will. Let's see. What other fun dates have we done?
The point is, during this time together, we're laughing or we're arguing, depending on what's happening on the date.
Yeah.
The one thing that Jerry hates that I do is I love it when we're on a date. And if I can't make up my mind about what I want to eat.
Oh, my word.
I look at him and I go, "Honey, go ahead and order for me."
Well, first of all, like many couples, and I'm sorry for, all you men out here. See, there's a reason that we generally don't let women choose what to eat, because the last time that happened, Eve did it and she condemned all mankind.
Eve did it because guess what? Adam was right there and he had his mouth shut.
Right. So we have to pick the place to eat.
Oh my gosh, he didn't protect her. It's equally his fault.
So we have to pick the place to eat.
Oh, Jerry Don.
So this is what she says. She's like, "Well, what do you want to eat?"
This podcast is done.
I said, "So what do you want to eat?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know. What do you want to eat?" And I said, "Okay, look, you're the one that has the more sensitive stomach.
I do.
So what do you feel like eating?" "Well, anything's fine." "Okay. How about barbecue?" "No, I don't want barbecue." "Okay. How about Italian?" "No, I'm not really in the mood for Italian." "Well, how about, Lazy Dog, which is a restaurant here?" So finally we go through and she's like, "Well, I don't really know. You pick." And I said, "I've already run down everything." She's like, oh.
No, but I mean, when we get to a restaurant and I will put down the menu and I will look at you and go, you choose.
Oh, I hate that too.
I love it because I've had some really interesting meals that I never would have chosen. The first time I did it, you were in a bad mood. And so you chose some Tex-Mex thing that was really spicy. And I like spicy, but I mean, I have a limit on
like
spice.
Spicy, but spicy does not like
No,
you.
it's not like me. And so I ate half of it and I just was like, my lips were literally burning. And you took pity on me and you switched plates with me.
Yeah.
Because you had like a chicken fried steak or something.
So we
And then the next time you took it seriously and you were very thoughtful about it. And you've always ordered very well. I have no complaints.
Yeah. So the important thing about date night that we've discovered is you have a chance to, as my wife says, so how you doing? What's on your mind?
You step out of the everyday.
Yeah. And
without distractions and are just looking eye to eye,
And it's a chance to, the one date we have every year, I call it the strategic planning date.
I call it the dream date.
She calls it the dream date.
We always do this around your birthday in December.
Right. As we get ready to start the new year, we sit down and we go, where do you want to be in a year from now?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because, of course, my honey lamb is the budding entrepreneur, going to retire me someday. Right, honey?
Sure, I'm trying.
And,
we'll see what the Lord says about that.
We have, our personal development goals, our spiritual, physical.
Family goals, yeah.
Family goals that,
professional.
we want to, our couple goals. And I like doing that once a year to just kind of check in and see where we are together because, we do have plans that we want to make together. We want to have plans individually. So I want to support her in her individual plans, and vice versa.
And same in your dreams.
And then we want to, figure out, okay, so we paint the kitchen this year.
Yes, we are.
How are we going to do that? Are we going to get a couple of guys to come in and paint it? Are we going to do it ourselves? Now, of course, the marriage building exercise is another entire podcast, but those are the sorts of things.
But it's happening before Christmas. I'm very excited.
But those are the things that, sometimes, particularly when you're in that busy season of children and, let's be honest, maybe these days you're taking care of your parents too. To get out with just the two of you and talk about the two of you.
And let's address kind of like the elephant in the room. What if you don't have kids? What if you're infertile, unable to have children? What if you choose not to adopt and it's the two of you? And you're like, well, date night feels like dinner every night because it's just the two of us. Well, my encouragement in that is, make it an adventure. We want to create memories as a couple. We want to create memories as a family because the stories that you hear us telling, our son could tell, our brothers and sisters could tell because some of them were there to witness some of them. So it's always such a joy to create those memories together. Now, sometimes at the time, like the ice skating, he was so mad, like steam out of his ears mad. And so it wasn't good. It just wasn't good.
It's funny now.
It's funny now. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen.
That would be the delivery guy.
We would like to introduce you to Date Night with the background music provided by our 1.5-year-old Border Collie.
That was Maggie.
Named Maggie, who is now giving her what for
to the
delivery man. And tonight, we chose burgers.
It's burgers.
It's burger night.
Burger night.
And sometimes you just don't want to make the burger. You order the burger.
See the burger, eat the burger.
That's right. So on that note, so that we can go and have our date night.
Date night, indeed.
Just the point is communicate with one another.
Don't lose sight of each other.
Don't lose sight of each other.
Look longingly into your eyes.
I look longingly into your eyes. Put those eyebrows away, mister. Those are not for public use.
Anyway.
So we come to the end of our podcast. I have no idea if any of this made any sense.
But if it does or doesn't, you can leave comments too.
That's correct. Or you could text us.
See how I did that? That was very nice.
That was very good. We call that a segue. Good job.
I know.
You can text us or send us a voicemail at 571-354-0351. And did we do the not so newlywed game?
We haven't done that yet. Let's just ask questions tonight. Do you know what today is? By the way, today's an especially important anniversary. Do you know what today is?
When this is being recorded?
Yes.
Today is June.
No, it's not a feast
July. Day. It is a feast day of somebody, I'm sure.
I'm sure it is.
July 24th.
Today, 25 years ago, Saving Private Ryan came out.
How the heck am I supposed to know that?
I wouldn't know it either. I just happened to read it on the internet because everything's on the internet. 25 years of Saving Private Ryan.
Wow, I remember seeing that movie with you.
I know.
Wow. 25 years.
So
what question?
What's your favorite movie?
We're just going to ask questions? No,
yeah.
I'm going to tell you what your favorite movie is.
Okay, what's my favorite movie?
Saving Private Ryan. And, what is the one with Mel Gibson? We Were Soldiers.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
And anything that John Wayne made.
Yeah, that's right, Pilgrim. Yeah, better believe it.
Okay, what's my favorite movie?
Anything English?
No, that's.
Or Steel Magnolias.
Steel Magnolias, very good. Second favorite movie?
Pride and Prejudice.
That's in the top 5, but second favorite movie involves your favorite season of the year.
Oh, White Christmas?
No.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh my gosh. She inflicts me on that.
Inflicts that on you?
Inflicts that on me every year.
It's a beautiful movie.
Oh my gosh.
Such redemption.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
And laundry baskets full of money, which should make you happy.
That would make me happy. Not going to lie.
Well, everybody, like I said, I don't know if it made sense. I'm not sure this whole thing, but there you go. Thank you for joining us.
You get the real us.
You do on the Mary and
Jerry
podcast.
Oh y'all come back now. You hear?
Please. We beg you. Until next time.